He paid the ultimate sacrifice. Good evening, everyone. I'm Steve Hensley.
And I'm Angela Reigert. People from all across the country are gathering to mourn the loss of a police officer killed in the line of duty.
Author Mitch Albom once wrote, "Sometimes when you sacrifice something precious, you're not really losing it. You're just passing it on to someone else." Tonight, look at this man, Officer Daniel Ellis. His life was taken. His son will grow up without a father, his wife a young widow. But it is what he left behind many will hold on to: love, compassion, and the willingness to serve. Tonight we honor his life as many at EKU's Alumni Coliseum pay tribute to a man they never even knew. WINT's Tanner Hesterberg joins us now live from Madison County to begin our coverage. Tanner.
Steve and Angela, it was a powerful scene here at Alumni Coliseum. The doors did not open to the public for visitation until 2 o'clock, but well more than an hour before that, just droves of people lining up to pay their final respects to a man who died protecting this Richmond community. Alumni Coliseum has hosted its share of large crowds, but never like this, and never for more somber a reason. Timothy Price drove from Estill County to pay his final respects to Officer Daniel Ellis, a man he says once worked a case that involved him. What was your reaction when you heard he had been shot?
I was totally shocked. I even cried. Oh, it hurt so bad. Because I love my law enforcement.
Ellis's visitation is being attended by first responders from across the state, from Paducah to Florence to Ashland, where firefighters Kyle Cole and Seth Clark call home.
Everybody's brothers out here. Everybody does the same thing in the line of duty. You're never promised tomorrow. It definitely shows here. Kind of hits you right in your heart.
Along with the hearts of hundreds of police officers. If you look above their cars parked outside the Coliseum, you'll see one of many tributes to Officer Ellis, his number 457 hanging with an American flag from an EKU dormitory building.
It's heartbreaking. You see one of them not be able to walk through that door and hug his babies no more. It's terrible.
And as flags fly at half staff outside, the many people offering their condolences inside are trying to make sense of why someone who swore to protect them was robbed of the opportunity to continue doing so. And you saw there one of the many memorials that are set up for Officer Ellis around this community here in Richmond. It's both heartbreaking and enlightening at the same time to see such an outpouring of support from this community. And one of the places where you can see a memorial set up right now is the apartment over on Ballard Drive where Ellis was gunned down. Sean Moody went there and talked to people living in the area about what they're doing to remember Officer Ellis.
He was protecting us.
Missy McCoy feels a special connection to Officer Daniel Ellis. He was investigating a report of an attempted robbery that had happened at her gas station when he was shot.
It was pretty upsetting. I mean, to think that he lost his life answering the call for us is something we won't forget.
Ever since, she's been handing out blue bracelets and putting up tributes to Officer Ellis all over.
We put ribbons around all of our flower pots. I just did that yesterday in remembrance of 457 with a thin blue line on it.
She wants to be sure that everyone knows who he was, and the station's taking up donations, about $500 so far.
People don't think twice about putting all of their change in.
Police said Officer Ellis's investigation led him here to some nearby apartments where he was shot. The people who live around here in these apartments told me it was important to them to make sure that the public knows that they stand with Officer Ellis's family.
There's good people over here, not everybody over here is bad.
The people who live here don't want the apartment to be remembered as the place where his final investigation ended. They want it to be a tribute to how he lived his life.
We all got candles and put them down there and lit them, and we just prayed.
Madison Marshall has spent time here at the memorial, and her family put up a blue ribbon on their door.
Showing that we cared.
She hopes the tributes that are popping up all over town can bring just a little comfort to Officer Ellis's family.
I pray that, his family gets comfort and that the good Lord helps him.
In Richmond, Sean Moody, WYMT Mountain News.
And there's another somber element to this as well, in that when you look at all of these officers from across the state who are coming back here to Richmond for this visitation. It's a homecoming of sorts for them because, of course, you have the renowned Center for Criminal Justice Training here on the campus of Eastern Kentucky University. Many of these law enforcement officers trained here, and obviously they would be like to be coming home for a much better reason than what they are, but still quite the outpouring of support from the law enforcement community.
Tanner, obviously a powerful symbol just behind you with the tower lit up in blue. And any idea how many people filed past the officer's coffin today?
Hundreds upon hundreds, Steve. I think an estimated attendance figure that I heard someone talking about earlier, somewhere in the 10 to 11,000 neighborhood just today, with more expected tomorrow. And like I told you at 4 o'clock, we were standing here and we saw an Alabama state trooper pull in. We've seen law enforcement officers from other states. There was even some talk of some law enforcement officers from Canada coming down for the funeral tomorrow. So this is truly not only a state thing or a countrywide thing, but may prove to be an international showing of support for Officer Daniel Ellis's family.
And not surprising at all. Tanner, thank you very much. Officer Ellis's funeral is, of course, tomorrow. It will be followed by a long procession to his burial site.
The funeral is scheduled to begin at 11 tomorrow morning at Alumni Coliseum on the EKU campus. Police expect the funeral to end around 12:30. The procession will begin at 1 and will wind its way through Richmond before heading south on Interstate 75. The procession will exit at US 25 in Mount Vernon.
It will then follow highways 461 and 80 to Somerset, where it's expected to arrive between 2 and 3. The procession will then follow the Cumberland Parkway to Highway 127, and it's expected to arrive at the cemetery in Adair County around 4 o'clock. Officer Ellis's death hits home for a Pulaski County family. In 2002, Sheriff Sam Catron was assassinated by Danny Shelley after he finished a campaign speech at a fish fry at the Shopville Stab Volunteer Fire Department. Today, his brother encouraged everyone to send their support to Ellis's family and fellow officers.
You know, at a time like this, you need your friends and your family, and it helps them with they know that they're not alone in it.
We will bring you team coverage of Ellis's funeral tomorrow beginning on First at 4.